Hey guys, my name is Cidiac and welcome back to another episode of FoolTopia here in City Skylines. Last episode guys, we did more of that downtown sprawl, expanded it, got our little subway line going directly to the airport, and we've really started to grow FoolTopia in the right direction. We've got a ton of brand new commercial areas in, and today we're going to focus on a little bit of infrastructure. Now, by the end of this episode, I want to get in our ferry system back. I want to get it back up and running and going to different parts of the beautiful islands to try and reduce the amount of vehicles on the roads. That's going to be a big help for us. Also, I want to try and attempt something with the highways. Now, I've been playing around with them lately. And I've noticed, remember that industrial area you got up and running? Well, vehicles exiting from that area, not really having a good time. So I've been doing some lane mathematics. Yes, boys, I know. This is a big one for me. And I've been changing things up because I have one of the modded roads which gives you a 4-lane highway. And I've been playing around with a 4-lane highway and a 3-lane highway with the intersections and junctions. Sounds a little bit weird, but I'll explain in just a moment, guys. But if you're enjoying FoolTopia, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new in here, then please make sure you subscribe, because we got some cool things we are doing, boys. But we are back, boys. We are back. So to give you an idea what I'm talking about with these lane kind of mathematics stuff is, you can kind of see it here right now. We got the usual 3-lane highway, and then all of a sudden it splits into a 4. Now the reason I've done that is because these guys exiting out this area, there was just a huge traffic jam. It just wasn't going to plan. So I've made it kind of a little bit wider. I've made these 3 merge into the 2, which, I mean, it doesn't really work in this kind of instance just here, but it does further up the road, which is good. And these merge into there, and then there's no other kind of, lane management further ahead, so they just choose to switch lanes when they want to. 4 lanes all the way going across, then all of a sudden these 4 lanes split into 3, which the 4th lane is the turn-off, so it then splits into those 3 lanes. This next lane becomes the turn-off, and then these 2 split back into the 3, which works wonders, and it continues. I haven't really done it on this side, and you can see the big traffic jam we've got going back here. Now, this did stretch all the way, which it still does, back to here. Now, I've only recently just updated this side of the road here, where it's 4 into 3 into 4, and obviously that 4th lane there turns off, and then starts a new 4th lane with the turn on, to try and keep the traffic flowing. And it's actually starting to clear quite quickly. I'm actually surprised at how quick that's cleared. Just in the same over here as well. So a 4 into a 3 into a 4. Again, that extra 4th lane that disappears is because of the 2 turn-off roads. Works wonders right now. And I've got it all the way up to here. So I got to this point and I thought, you know what? We'll do a little bit more of this on camera because it is starting to work wonders for us. So we want to upgrade the road. And it only really splits into a 3 when we do the turn off. So we want these to be a 4 lane and then this to be a 4 lane. Now if I can push this all the way back, just trying to be a little bit careful just to there, and then what we do when we kind of sort out the lane management as it splits into a 3, so that extra 4th lane turns off and these 3 lanes merge into a 3 to keep the highway moving. Same thing happens just here, and we make the turn on stick to this. Oh, wrong button. There we go. And then these 3 merge into the 3, so no one's really crossing paths on and off points to keep it free flowing. And we just do the same over here. Now it does take it takes a couple of minutes for them to understand what's going on and for their routes to be updated. But once we get it going, they do it perfect. They do it perfect. Now I can see there might be an issue with this one, because of how close the 2 junctions are, meaning at this point here is when we see a big crossover. So what I'm thinking of doing here, just to make it even more simple for these guys, is we make this go straight, this go straight, that goes straight. Now for people who wanted to turn off here, this is where we then kind of sort it a little bit. So we say this also goes straight. Let me do both of these all going straight first. I should really pause it, to be honest. And it's really difficult to kind of see now this, isn't it? Right. Boom. To there. I'll do the lane switches in just a second. There we go. So it all goes straight, so I ain't got to worry about too much at the minute. So let's see it from the turn-on point of view. They turn on and instantly they're going to turn straight off. So we need to make sure or allow them or give them the ability that they can merge lanes. So if I merge into that lane, they're then going straight, which gives them the option to go there, bam, and they keep going. So that works for the guys turning off. Now the next one is for the vehicles who want to turn off here and go around there. Now I'll make him do it on this one. So same thing again, select this lane, so that, and then go into that lane. So it keeps the guys turn off this one away from the far left lane. They start to come in a little bit. So that, again, give it a couple of minutes before it figures out what it needs to do an update. And then once we're Gucci boys, we're Gucci. And that should work wonders. And you should then start to eventually see people splitting lanes. Like these guys have already split their lanes and they're making their way down. They'll cut in, they'll cut out, they'll do all kinds of things. But that should keep the traffic flowing there. Look at that. Only a couple of seconds, and look how free-flowing it now becomes. Again, we still got backlogs, but then backlogs will eventually clear. And that ultimately keeps everybody moving in the right direction. It's kind of cool, isn't it? I'm so impressed. I've already just cleared this whole junction. So the backlog continues. So we've got to continue this progression going through. We'll do this side right now. And I'll just do it to here, because I don't know how much it's going to be affecting anywhere else. But if I just do it to here, and I want to get the ferry system up and running next as well. So I'll pause again. We'll get that going straight. We'll get that going straight. We'll quickly sort this one out. There we go. So I could think about doing this side, but I'll leave that at the moment. How backed up is it on that side? Not really that much, because we don't really get that much traffic coming from there at the moment, which is good. And then this, obviously, of course, turns off. That's pretty much straightforward. So it just keeps it all flowing. This, again, there we go. So it's a simple system with a couple of mods, but look how free-flowing it makes those junctions, boys. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So now, obviously, we want to make this be the crossover point there. And this, if I can get it. Oh, here we go. Bit of crossover point there. And then back into play, mate. Back into play. So we'll give it 5-10 minutes-ish for these backlogs to clear through. Am I seeing any other issues anywhere else? I mean, I've got to keep an eye on the other side of the road, but that just kind of consistently looks like it's flowing through. I mean, there is areas where, like there will be a good spot to pull it on and fix it. But I'll come back to those in just a moment. There's no huge issues right now. It still all looks pretty much free-flowing. And we'll come back in about 5 or 10 minutes after the ferries, see what the issues are, and then we'll rectify them. So, we originally had a ferry system in, and it hooked up this side to this side. And it was very, very popular. Now, I don't know if the ferry line is still in. It kind of still is, where it goes up to here, where we originally had it in. So if I just delete the excess lines here, because we just don't need them anymore. Can I get rid of that one? There we go. Now we're going to read it. We're going to keep that original one, but I'm going to try and get a couple more ferry lines up and running. That's kind of what we need to do. So that one going back and forth would be pretty good. We'd also get one about here, going back and forth to this commercial side too. So the two commercial districts are pretty much hooked up by a ferry system. Even though we do have a subway line going through, not everybody is going to potentially use it. And or I could set up like a 4-way loop. I'm not too sure on that one. I could do a triangle. I think the triangle one is the way to go forward. Right, let me just delete this line as well. So like I said, we're going to redo it anyway. The ferry line is still connected. It's just not hooked up because we don't have a ferry depot just yet. So if we had one there to there and we do that triangle. So it hooks up to, to these guys here. Create one there, hook up to these guys down here. And I don't really need one to go back and forth anywhere else, do I? I don't think we ever want one for these. I mean, there's this subway line that cuts through. That's where you gotta be careful. I don't want to kind of place a line in when there's a good subway line or something like that connected, because it then makes it pretty much pointless. But I think that'd be the way to go forward. So, boats then. I need that ferry pier. What have I got over here? Is it piers or is it just stops? It's just stops, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to try and get a stop in over here. And where'll be a good... I mean, all the commercials just here, so it makes sense that it kind of goes here. And if I place it about... If I place it just about there a second, because I want to try and get it squared. Well, that's not the move tool. There we go, boys. I want to get it somewhat squared off so I can at least extend the road down to it. So the road to there. You catch my drift, boys? And we're going to make the road follow through that. Because then it ultimately creates... I don't need this in no more, do I? Ultimately creates more space for zoning. So the first thing I'll do, though, is make a path connecting straight over. So I think it would be a good idea to have one run... Oh, this is... No. Why is that in the air? Calm down, boy. Calm down. Right. Straight go across there. We'll want to go across the road to here to there. So it's just going across the road. Make sure that's the right height. So they could essentially just cross the road and cut through to get up to this point. There is like a nice little tram stop nearby, which works wonders. It's got water. That should be good. Our nice little trio line. So we need to set up this little ferry line then. And I'll just make them direct. There's no point beating around the bush, is there? Just like that. Now we do have, like I said, we already have a ferry line stop set up, but we need where's the boats? Boats. There we go. I'm going to delete it because we're going to do a new one anyway. But to be able to do it, we need the ferry depot. Now, I'm going to have this depot... Is it too much to have it over here? This is where we originally had it set up to be. But for some reason, I deleted it. I don't know why I did. But I just need to now get this all hooked up. There we go. Right, that's simple enough, right? And then we can create now our little stop. So all it really is, guys, is a back and forth loop. Now we have one going one way and one going the opposite way. So at least there's always a ferry coming in whatever line it's pretty much setting itself up to be in. So the boats are now coming out. Again, we'll give it time for that to circulate and get people using it. That's going to be quite cool. Because we did originally have a lot of people, especially waiting at this one to get to the other side. Because it was at that time when we had it up and running, the main shopping area for FoolTopia was here. This whole little district with the amount of commercial we had. We did have a big bulk of residential over here. And they just love to get back and forth to do their shopping. Obviously, now things are slightly changed. I wonder how things are going to go. But we do have, you know, this shopping area district over here hooked up too. So there is people already going over there to wait. So we'll give it time. We'll see what happens. It should be quite successful. Now, how is this highway right now? So we're getting a little build-ups and backups. Where does it all happen? It all takes place here as they're trying to merge into a certain lane. Which, oh, that one was weird. It came out and then back in. What are you doing, boy? What are you doing? So is there ways in which we can improve this to kind of get them to where we need to get them? I mean, I don't want to go down the route of saying, like, you know what, boys? Let me pause a second. Right, all lanes are final, if that makes sense. Because then what we're really doing, like, if I do what I did to that little original place under the intersection, I did like this. Like the first one was where you crossed over, and the very last one you crossed in. What it does then, it tells the vehicles before they approach this area. If they're turning off here, you need to make sure at this point over here somewhere, you need to be in that certain lane, which will completely change everything, but also make everything free flowing. It might be the way we have to go forward with all of this. It just might just. And that could apply further back as well, and that could also help it. But you are really like fixating the lanes, like saying that you got to be in this lane, and they'll merge further down, like, you know, at other points. There's a long bridge that they get to kind of merge across. But I want to see if many vehicles change their lanes, because at what point can they turn into that lane? So it's by this point here where you have to be in that certain lane to be able to cross and pass over. And we're not seeing many of them do it now. Well, I'm just double checking the lanes. The ones only really doing it, the people coming off here, but I'm not seeing many people down here do it. A lot of them are running down, skipping through. Oh, this lorry might do it, or this lorry could be just literally turning off here. No, okay, that lorry there is the first vehicle to do it for us. So it does work to that point, but if I fixated them lanes all the way back to that point, then it becomes up to this point, and this point. You already need to be in your lane before anything happens, which can solve the traffic issues all the way back up to this point, to be honest. So this one here, obviously you have to make sure the first one is the crossover point for there, and then you do it all the way running through. So they're already picking their lanes way before they even get to this. It's not ideal, but because the huge backups like this are just causing huge issues for us, then we kind of have to do something about it. And it'll be this last one here is what causes the crossover. So if you're coming down here, you're already in that type of lane, and you need to get into it at this point, because whatever lane you pick here determines where you're literally going, boys. But it makes all the traffic free flow at that point. Obviously, you know, when they approach this whole little section, it's all going. It's rocking and a rolling, mate. But only time will tell. There is never one perfect, foolproof plan. It's just you gotta roll with the punches. In a way, haven't we? Where is it happening? It happens here, doesn't it? So you can already see a few vehicles here already choosing their lanes. And a lot of them seem to slow down at certain points as well, which is kind of annoying. But, you know, it is what it is, boys. It is what it is. But again, like I said, once they get into that system, it flows wonderful. Wonderfully. How mental is this system? So what if I chose where that didn't go down there? So these two lanes are just like this, and then this one crossed over instead. Because then that will ultimately make them choose the lane that needs to be in, whether they're going straight ahead or turning. And we have like the system here. So again, pick your lane, because your lane determines whether you're turning right or going straight on at this point. So once they understand that and get the configuration for that set up, they pretty much ultimately know where they're going. You haven't got to tell them anymore, have you, really? Okay. Where's me ferries? Where are me ferries? Is there an issue? Wait, I'm so confused. Oh, because the building needs power. I was like low-key for a second there. Someone stole my boats. Some boy stole your boy's boats. Oh, it looks like it needs more power than that. Right, if I put one there, this is a part of the thingy. There you go. You can't really complain at that point, can you? You really can't. How's it all flowing now? Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's now cleared it. It's now freaking cleared the whole system. It all flows wonderfully. I know we got a few little troubles down here. Because it's trying to pick what lane it needs to be in. And it really does, the traffic really does start to slow down at that point. So then this is our next headache, is the sheer amount of volume of vehicles trying to enter this place. So how is it working over here? So let's kill off that turn. And rather than make it turn like that? What if I made them all go down that way? Because it ultimately it keeps it again flowing, but that could be the wrong way to go with it. And instead make them do that turn. Try and minimize the amount of vehicles who could potentially cross their path, but you are doing a 90-degree turn, so the traffic will slow down. Now, would it be too much if I did? I mean, this is now a real stretch, guys. This is now pushing boundaries that I shouldn't really be trying to attempt to do. But if I pick this spot, and then right, you're probably going to say, Cynic, what the freaking hell are you doing, boy? Right, I've got an idea. I'm going to pause. This is now going to be our little test run, okay, guys? Right, get rid of trees. Let's angle this so it comes down a gradual slope. It's not perfect, but just humor me for a second, guys. I just want to be humored. I want to see how many vehicles, because obviously it's everyone trying to come into this area. Now, what if I allowed them to turn off here, come down, where they could go straight down, or go down here to turn off? How many vehicles will take that option over this option? That's going to be interesting. Right, we now have the boats doing the crissy crossies. So people are waiting. They all get on. Is that boat full? No. Okay, so they're waiting for the opposite loop to come around. Yeah, there's a lot of people over here waiting. A lot, mate. That's good. That's good. That's what I like to see. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll judge. Which I can tell you, we're gonna have to get more boats out, but then we'll kind of really judge how many boats that we are going to need. Is anybody taking that route yet? Is there something wrong with this route that nobody wants to use it? Nobody really wants to use this route, do they? Right, there we go. Now they're starting to use it. Which, I can probably tell you right now, it's going to be abused really bad. But if this gets abused, I want to see the sheer number difference. It's not ideal. It's not the way I should be going with this. But what I could do is that I could, just for the sake of making this run, yeah, upgrade that road. This is actually a tough one right now, trying to merge these in the way I want it to merge. But we'll see how that plays. I mean, are they still using this? Yeah, they're still using that road. But you might get the build up of traffic on this side at that point, won't you? But again, we'll just give it time. Now, is there any build up over here? No, because that is fluid. Right, definitely gonna need more boats, aren't we? I can see so. So let's go then to our public transport. Let's go to the boats. We have 3 vehicles on each one. I'm gonna up it to 5 on each one. Up it to 5 on each one. So we should have another extra 4 boats come out of there, which is good. So how are we looking over here? I mean, it's not what I wanted to do, but you gotta admit, it's kind of working. It is kind of working, isn't it? Which is annoying. Which really is annoying. So this side of the road now is starting to see a huge, well, no, it's not huge, but starting to see a few traffic issues. So what we say to that is, if we can. So upgrade it at that point is where we bring on the extra lane. So we bring on the extra lane there, and we also take on another extra lane as well, which is the same as what we do on the opposite side. We take away 2 extra lanes and then push that down to that point. And don't want it. I mean, are we seeing issues over there? Not as much, to be honest. But let's just sort it out from this point. Anyway, so straight over there. Straight. Oh, hold on. There. There. Straight, but the last one is the one that turns over. No. And this is the first one. Oh, forget the angle. That turns over there. So then this. That goes straight. That goes to there. Just like this, mate. Nice. So then I will lane it going all the way up. Even though there's no traffic here, I'm kind of setting them up before they enter this whole system. So exactly what I did on the other side, but the difference is on this side, this ultimately just cleared it all, didn't it? Really, when we set this up. So now this is the bit I'm confused about, because you have to have like a double on system. How would I approach this? So for here, let me just do it as you would normally do it here. So that goes to there, to there, to there, and to here. And you normally go straight, 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 straight. This is now the awkward one, isn't it? It is. I wonder how the traffic would kind of work with this. Well, what's going on here then? Why is it doing this? So I think that should be the one to cross over instead. And I think now is the time where you just leave it to kind of slowly update. They keep... What's the junction restrictions like? Yeah, it flows there. Flows there. Oh, there's one here apparently. Yep. Okay. Right, we'll give it some time. Because no one's really merging or passing lanes there. They do at... What point did they do it at? It was just here. They're able to do it there for a brief second. But by then, it's already cleared through. So if I bring it up to, say, this point there. And that's already predetermined. I mean, there's not much traffic to kind of worry about. This turnoff here has completely killed this. But... for every vehicle that uses that is one less on this side. So I think we've not split it 50-50. I wouldn't go down. I mean, then again, you could possibly say that. It only looks like there's more. Looks like there's more here because the turnoff is just there. If you kind of count the amount of vehicles that come off there versus at this point, it's pretty much even. So I think at a 50-50 ratio, we've kind of solved it because it looks like there's more coming down there. But you got to remember, coming down here is the turnoff for there. That's actually kind of, I feel weird about that one. I'm not too sure how I feel about that, guys. It's a funny one, isn't it? Now, traffic on the other side seem to have freed up. I don't have any worries or issues anywhere else down the road, so I think I'm going to keep the highway as it is. We do have a little bit back up there, but it's the traffic slowly moving and updating, so it is progressing through, and then once that's cleared, we should be all good to go. We ultimately should be all good to go. There should be no issues. And it looks like, guys, that back up there has now gone. So, where you solve one issue, another one normally just appears over time. But that seemed to have... I mean, it was a lot worse at the start of the episode. Let's put it that way, boys. Right, additional boats. How are we doing with these boats then? They all good? They're doing wonders. So now we need to think about bus routes from the kind of ferry stops to other certain points throughout. Now, if I go to buses, we have a bus route here. So we have this pink one. And where does it stop? It's stopping. Okay, it's stopping there, very weirdly. Oh, it makes sense because they're crossing over there. And it's stopping there. Right. So it also stops... Where am I looking now? It stops also... Where does it stop at this point to make it do this loop? I don't think it does. I think that's ultimately the turn off. We're not allowing right or left hand turns at that point. Right, okay. So if I drag the line to stop... Oh, hold on. There? Is this too much for this one loop? I feel like it is. I feel like, you know what? We'll stop this. Because I feel like what this should be doing is being the crossover point for the tram line here. Where's the one on this side? I can't even see it. It's up there. The tram line up here to the farming area. That's what I feel like this line should be. Right, so am I right in saying that they can't turn here? No, they can turn. So there is a bus line or a bus stop here somewhere that I just haven't spotted. Or I can't spot. Am I going blind? So you merge into this lane. Oh, I get it, I get it. Because then that lane would be the merge to do a UE, right? Yeah. I get what the issue is now. So if I did that. There we go, that bus route's now updated. Right, okay. Okay, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to actually move the bus stop here. Because then it's halfway between the subway stop and the tram stop. And this bus route is just simply to bring the workers from Birch Park and the two connecting subway and tram line to the farming area, which I feel like I need to place the stop there. Yeah, there. And this stop, yeah, it's fine for that stop there. That's really all that's going to be for. Now we're going to have a stop here. This is now going to be the circuit around the area. So we do a stop there. It ultimately doesn't connect. Well, it will connect, have a connecting point. But it's just literally to get people moving around. So we'll have it one there. And we'll do... Let me cancel that. So I'll do it here instead. No, I'll do it... It's just tough, isn't it, man? Right, we'll do it there because it's close to that tram stop there. Then we'll do one up here, trying to maximize our radius. Then I'll do one just here by the subway stop. And we'll do... I feel like these are way too close, aren't they? Right, if I did one there and then finish it off, that line, I feel like there's more to add in, to be honest. We have this here, which I'm thinking I should move this to maybe here instead. There. Because it is walkable, the distances. These are too close together. If I killed off that one, because it's all walkable. It's not like it's a million miles away. But it kind of like from the subway to the ferry or from the tram line or whatever it may be, if they're trying to get from one side to the other, it's accessible. I'm not 100% sold on that new bus line, to be honest with you. I'm actually going to re-drop one there. We've got a line there. Oh, we've got... No, we don't have one there, sorry. We have one up here. We have one there, which I'm going to drop on there. I got to think, like, people here might want to go to there. So they'd have to walk over to there or walk up to here. I might as well just add in a stop. And what if I did... Oh, am I pushing it by putting like a stop here somewhere? And then move this one to there instead. Got one there, it's fine. Got one there. Okay, I think I'll leave it like that. Small little loop around Birch Park just to get them from one connection to the other. And then we're going to do the same over here. So bus line there, which will initially come out, stop there. Can then stop up here, stop there for the connection just here to passes through, and the connection. Oh, I'm just gonna move it along actually. No, we'll keep it there. The connection for the subway line is just there. Pushes further up to here, and right, I'm not gonna push it into Maple District. Because they can walk to this stop here and use the tram. But via a bus, I gotta think about a bus. Okay, we'll just use the bus stop there. And then bring it straight back home. So that's the loop there for that. And I'll keep it like that. I'm just thinking of like simple connections to and from. And we'll see how those go. So where's the bus stop anyway? The bus stop is there. So people are waiting for the bus. The bus is full, but everyone gets off, and then everyone should get on. Oh no! Yeah, I don't know what they're waiting for then. But you see how the connections now work? One leads onto the other. That's what makes it efficient. So this highway now. So a lot of you might not agree on some of the stuff that I've done, but one thing we can agree on: it's dramatically reduced the traffic and the flow. Is a million times better, and you can't argue those facts. The flow of this highway is a gazillion times better. You see, it's gone from a million to a gazillion. So that's good. Can't argue with that though, can you really? I mean, this might not be beautiful or pretty or anything like that, but I've got to sort it out. But it works. My theory kind of worked slightly. So, man, that's been so heavily used right now. It just keeps taking people away. What's this one like? So you don't really see much going on with this. I mean, dropping people off. People are getting on. Because we don't really have much residential to fill in all this. When we get more residential over here, that will be like a kind of a little booming thing. This one is the biggest used one. But with the fact that we're getting so many boats now, it just picks them up, takes them away, which is glorious. I'm loving the fact that the bus line is filled up too. So where are the bus stops again? So we have one just here, which has got a few people waiting. We then have one over here, which has got quite a few. Where's the next one again, guys? Goes up to there. It's up there. Ah, there we go. Which has got quite a few. We then have one over here, which has got a couple too. Over here, which is the connection for the subway line as well. So that's a good little stop. I've got to colorize it and give it a name too. So over here, we've got a couple of ways. The buses only just come though, so that would have picked people up. Now, I don't expect to see many on this line because there's not much residential for people to be moved about. A couple waiting just there. Oh, the buses will just come for them. A couple is over here. A couple over there. So, yeah, I'm not expecting to see many on this side, but, you know, but, ooh, damn, son. Oh, yeah, because I wanted to kind of do something like this over here, didn't I? Yeah, that's understandable. But let's get in some more suburbs then. So I might as well just fill it all up here and it'll just build itself over time. That's what it would do, won't it? Just build itself up over time. And then as it builds up, the public transport will slowly get used, and then we're laughing, boys. We are laughing to the bank. I don't want to place over on this side here or through there. It could be more residential, but I mean, I know we got huge industrial demands. We could put a couple of offices in to see if people want to work over on this side. But the office is all over there, so I think I'll keep it. I want to keep this like low, not low density. Well, yeah, low density, yes, but like low rise buildings. That's what I'm trying to say, isn't it? Yeah. Man, I'm so impressed with what we've done to that highway. I know they're only simple and basic changes, but it does make a huge difference, man. It does make a huge difference. Oh, I've just noticed too, we're approaching 100,000 residents in FoolTopia. I wasn't expecting that to happen, mate. Right. Let's sort out the public transport lines then. So, boats then. We're doing pretty well. We got some really, really good ferry lines up and running. So, we'll just call it... Oh. No. Loop. No. What's going on? There we go. Loop. A. Oh, man. Loop B. I always forget to press enter. Loop A and Loop B. And then these brand new bus lines. So it's 9 and 10. So which is this one again? Number 10. Number 10 is this one. So we'll change the line colour. What would work well in this area? Let me just move this. Can I not move it? Looks like I can't move it. What's the area anyway? Oh, we don't know. Do we have an area district to this? Ah, it's Maple District. Oh, it is Maple District. So maybe we should be thinking about... potentially, which is the better way to do it? Potentially having a stop up here. Do it on that side of the road so that it free flows. Yes. Okay. Integrating that then. So I'm going to call this the Maple Loop. Where we gone? So that was number 10. So I'll call this the Maple Loop. And for this area, there we go. I think we're going to go for an orange, right? Or a red. No, I think a red will work. Yeah, red will be perfect for that area. And then this, number 9, if I change the colour to a... No, not... Should I go black? Yeah, we'll go black there. This is now our birch... It's going to call it our birch loop. Our birch park loop. There we go. Which connects up to the... Like I said, the ferry line as well, so it integrates it. So it's quite easy. Oh, well, hold on. Now, we did have... Yeah, I remember this here being so overly populated. Do you think I should... No, I don't want to move that, but do you think I should... How busy are these blue ones? I should really maybe add a couple extra buses on this one. We've got 12 vehicles. It clearly got 400 people waiting at this stop. It clearly doesn't handle. I'm going to get 4 new buses on that. Start to make a dent in the amount of people it's pushing around. Everyone's waiting, boys. When's the next ferry coming? Nice. How is that little bit of residential growing? So it is a small growth, small demand. It'll come over time, but it's transporting the people around, and that is what builds up our economy and just keeps the tourists, the customers, the workers moving about and getting to their destinations. I love it, man. That's what I love about this game. So everything looks good. Very impressed. So I think I'm ready to say it. It's time to start making money again. I think it's time, guys. I think it's time. And by that I mean it's like stuff like building more parks, zoos, theme parks, that kind of stuff which generates money in general, but also kind of working on the industries. We've got a farming industry, we've got a wood industry, we need an oil industry, and we need an ore industry, and they're going to make us monies, and that's what we're going to be looking at. 4 things: theme park, zoo, oil industry, ore industry. 4 things we need to get in at some point, which hopefully we'll do over time. Guys, hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below, and until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, good. Bye.